Welcome back, everyone, to another exciting training video. Now, I just want to tie up some loose ends from the last training. Basically, if you recall in our last training, we were talking about borders, lines. And let's look at some new techniques. We never talked about the shading. It's important. But let's first take a look here at what Clipit has to say. To go to the next misspelled word, press Alt F7 or double-click the spelling icon on the status bar. I didn't know it. So what's the spelling? The status bar is here at the bottom. So the spelling icon, maybe this is it? Yeah, this is it. So you can double-click this or press Alt F7 and it'll move you to the very next spelling mistake. So if I double-click it, up, it jumps there. And it jumps there. Okay. And it jumps here to substatement. And the next substatement, let's just change it so here. I can right-click it, change it so. Thank you, Clipit. Clipit's the greatest. He is. Or she is, or whatever it is. It's the greatest. Okay, so let's get back into borders and shading. And this sentence here, this paragraph, I want to do some work on it. Let's just first get rid of the outline structure of it. It's a normal paragraph here, just normal left justified paragraph. But I do want to put the borders on it. Remember, Alt O B. Let's box it. Let's use the box. Or hey, we could use the shadow. The shadow's cool. I think that's neat. Let's use the shadow. Make it a thick shadow. Ooh, that's too thick. Okay, maybe this much. That's okay. Yeah, okay, so now we have this shadow effect. But inside this document, inside this paragraph, I want to highlight some words, like this word important. I want to highlight that so people will be sure and read it. So Alt O B, and then for the shading tab, it's at the top, just hit Alt S, it'll jump there. There we go. And I'm gonna put a highlight on that, like that, okay? And there's some styles here. We can set different levels of the color, so you know it can be darker, it can be clear. Clear is better for us now. Say okay. So there we go. So that word will stay highlighted, or let's say this whole paragraph is important and it all needs to be highlighted. So Alt O B brings up the borders and shading, and here when I click it, see it fills the whole border with the highlight. And that's a nice way. If you have a very important thing you want your reader to sit up and take notice, you see, look how strong this is. It says, hey, you need to read this. This is important. And that's an important feature. So that's why Alt O B and the shading and the border are very important. So, wow, that was quick. I thought we'd take more time, but we were just too efficient. So very good. One thing I thought might be useful is for us to understand the way we're laying this out. Let's use the print preview and let's look at how this would look if we were to print it. So use the print preview, and there you can see the page and you can see everything on the page, and you can zoom in and see this is what the document would look like if we printed it now. So this is a good way to check our work because we've been using, as you recall, we've been using the normal mode of view, and the normal mode is, my opinion, is the very best. It's just so fast, so efficient. When you're building a document, you can zoom around quickly and get everything done, no delays. So I was wanting to cover one more item before we left paragraphs, and this is something we've not been talking about and we need to talk about, and that is this thing here. This is a very complex name. It's called the ruler. Of course, not so complex, but the ruler itself, it has very powerful features. The ruler goes back all the way to the beginning of Word, almost to the very beginning. And not a lot is discussed about the ruler. So if we go talk to Clipit, we said, "Hey Clipit, tell us about the ruler." Okay, so we got the vertical ruler, a scroll bar. Change the default unit measurement. Okay. So let's see it. Okay, that's fine. Set the location of vertical ruler. Set the location of vertical scroll bar. That's pretty good, but let's see. What about turn off the ruler? Okay. So we've already been here. Okay, we'll do that. Sounds good. Very good, Clipit. You're smart. Okay, so I go to view. Then we can see there's the ruler. So I can turn it off and turn it on. Alright, what else is there we can turn off and on? Lots of things. This is called the task pane here, so we can turn it off. And in this case, I want to talk about the ruler because of its amazing power inside of a paragraph. So if we look at this document so far, we just slowly move our cursor. You can see in this particular paragraph, which has the first line indent, we see this thing here. What is that? I don't know. But if we go up to all of these have the first line indent. As soon as we get out of those, we get up into this outline, we start seeing this strange thing. What is this? It's moving around. So the top icon, whatever that is, it seems to line up with the first line margin, and then the bottom icon, it seems to move with the what we call the indentation. You notice that? So here in this paragraph, which has no formatting, it's all gone. Everything is up against the edge. The first line and the indentation, they're all against the edge, so it's like a block style. But as soon as we go into another paragraph, then we have this strange icon is moving again. So what's going on? What's happening? So let's start a new plain Jane, what I call a unformatted or zero vanilla paragraph, and let's work with these tools, Is there another tool, it looks like, available to us in addition to? And that's one thing to keep in mind. There are many ways to do things in Word. Over the years, so many tools have come together, and there's many ways, and some ways are faster than other ways. So here we go. Let's create a new. This is my new spot. I'm going to make a new paragraph here. I'm just going to put together some text. That's the other problem in everything. Once you change a bunch of formats, you always have to go through and clean up the paragraphs if you want to start over. For all analysis and training purposes. So this is our paragraph, and we have this ruler thing. So if I grab this top mark, let's say, and I move it over to there. Oh, look at that. What did that do? That's the first line indent. You see the nice description? So you can adjust your indent just by grabbing it and sliding it. If you don't like your last indent, while you're in this paragraph with a cursor there, you can come in and you can adjust it. That's great. So then there's the hanging indent. So what is this thing? Let's adjust it and see. Look at that. So now I have caused this hanging indent where my first line, I can set it to no indent, and then this will bring all of the remaining lines in the paragraph to be subordinate to the first line. That's a nice feature, I think. It's a pretty easy way to connect. Let's look over here while we're at it. We'll look at this side. This is the right indent. So, look at that. If we need to indent our paragraph some particular amount, let's say we need to put something else here on the page, we can then just set it to whatever we want using the right indent. That's very nice. Or keep it the full width of the margin. Now there's one more item here. Left indent, hanging indent, left indent. What is this left indent? I don't know. They move together. So that controls the entire left side indent. I don't know if that's clear. And let's say the best way to understand it for a paragraph is if we move this left indent, it moves everything. And this is the right indent, and it moves everything, yeah? You see? So even if we have like a hanging structure, or we have first line indent, the left indent will move all things together and maintain our hanging or the first line indent structure. So that's very powerful. And all of this is available to us just easily through the dragging of the mouse. So simple it is. Just drag with the mouse. You can basically set this any way you want within your margin, whatever you want to do, using the ruler. So I think that's enough material for today. But today, as you saw, we learned how to really emphasize a paragraph, and we learned how to control the ruler. I'm wondering if we go to this paragraph and we do a little bit of intention. Wow, look at that! We can control this. We can put it anywhere we want. Look at that! Isn't that amazing? Oh, wow! Oh, it's so powerful. That paragraph, we've completely controlled it. We could do something else over here. That's really quite amazing, it is. Look at that. So there you have it, everyone. An exciting new tool in the power of word. Come back soon, we'll have even more power to discuss.